There are now reports that Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein is much sicker than she has let on. Feinstein's term is up next year, and she is not running for re-election. After a 3-month absence, the 89-year-old California senator, a Democrat, returned last week in a wheelchair with her cognitive skills clearly diminished from what is now reported to be encephalitis, a swelling of the brain, which may have been caused by a rough case of shingles. Here's where the story gets really diseased and sick. Now, she obviously is like Reagan was, and we have a lot of senators who are senile. As I said earlier, the Senate comes from the same root word as senile. She should, I don't think you embarrass her. I think AOC and Ro Khanna were disgusting when they publicly called for her resignation. I mean, that was just craven opportunism. You should quietly let her finish out her year and leave her alone. She's clearly suffering. This is where it gets diseased. This is where, I'm a Democrat. I voted for Bernie. I will vote for Joe Biden. I would rather have Nancy Pelosi as our speaker and not Kevin McCarthy. I'd rather have Hakeem Jeffries as the speaker, but I would rather have Cori Bush as the speaker, or Katie Porter, or Barbara Lee. This is not what I want leading the Democratic Party. This is the disease of the Democratic Party. Politico is reporting that former Speaker Nancy Pelosi's eldest daughter is serving as Senator Dianne Feinstein's primary caretaker. You can see her. She's on the right there. When Senator Feinstein made her publicized return last week, which by all measures was a public relations disaster, with a clearly confused senator telling reporters, I was never away. I've been here all along, and I've been voting all along. This should have been done quietly. There was no need to alert the press. Let her finish out her term with dignity. Chief of staffs run a senator's office. We all know that. You just tell them how to vote the same way, Ronald Reagan's second term, Strom Thurmond, Grassley, just let them have their dignity. But don't politicize her senility, which, according to Politico, that is what the Pelosi family is doing to this poor Senator Dianne Feinstein. According to Politico, the San Francisco-based Pelosi family is overseeing Dianne Feinstein's care. That's why the daughter, the eldest Pelosi daughter, is her nurse. Feinstein is the former mayor of San Francisco before she became senator. The Pelosi family also lives in San Francisco. They're part of the political brotherhood, sisterhood. Many people are now this is really diseased. Many people are suggesting that Nancy Pelosi has assigned her eldest daughter to take care of the doddering, barely lucent Dianne Feinstein in order to keep Dianne Feinstein in the Senate all the way through 2024 to avoid California Governor Gavin Newsom from naming this woman, who I want to be the next senator, Congresswoman Barbara Lee. Pelosi is worried that California Governor Gavin Newsom would name Congresswoman Barbara Lee as an interim appointment, thereby making her the incumbent running for re-election in the 2024 California Senate race. That would give her an advantage over Pelosi's pick, Adam Schiff. So they're doing everything they can to keep Dianne Feinstein in the Senate to avoid Gavin Newsom naming the fantastic Congresswoman Barbara Lee as Dianne Feinstein's replacement. not to speak badly of Dianne Feinstein, I will just say Barbara Lee is a million times better than Dianne Feinstein. She serves in the House. Barbara Lee deserves to be senator because, for many reasons, but one of the reasons is she is the only member of Congress to vote against the war authorization to invade Afghanistan. She is the only member of Congress who voted, what was it, in 2001? The war authorization in Afghanistan. Only one. Therefore, she deserves to be the senator because the Taliban did not attack us on 9/11. I've gone over this countless times, and that is the question I vet all the candidates running for office with. Did Afghanistan attack us on 9/11? Did the Taliban attack us on 9/11? They did not attack us on 9/11. Watch my previous shows. Watch my 20th anniversary episode of the war in Iraq, where I talk about everyone who knows anything knows that the Taliban and Afghanistan did not attack us on 9/11, and Barbara Lee was the only one who was willing to say it, right? This 20-year global war on terror, Afghanistan and Iraq, nothing to do with 9/11. Now, to Nancy Pelosi's credit, she voted against the war authorization against Iraq. She deserves some credit. But she voted for the war authorization against Afghanistan. Only this woman had the moral fortitude to stand up to the military-industrial complex. Barbara Lee. This is some sick shit that's going on right now with Dianne Feinstein propping her up in her Senate seat to prevent Gavin Newsom from naming Barbara Lee as her replacement. Barbara Lee should be the senator from California.